I studied over 100 potential entrepreneurs who have side hustles, and here's why they all died in 6 months. And maybe this is the same reason why your side hustle wasn't successful, also. This video is not for the weak because business and making money is not entertainment, it's boring as that's why everybody always getting because they don't understand the S's and O's. So if you can't sit for 10 minutes and watch this content, then that's on you. 73% of all side hustles fail within the first 6 months. And it's not because you or anyone else is not passionate about that particular side hustle. And it's not because you or anyone else don't hustle hard enough for the side hustle. It's because you and everyone else has been sold a lie via social financial influencers, especially since 2020 when the height of the pandemic had all y'all in an emotional financial uproar, stemming from what is known as the weekend entrepreneur myth, the follow your passion industrial complex. It's not inspiration, it's a trap designed to keep you busy and broke. Those not the two B's that you want in your life, while your actual profit margins bleed out. And here's the problem that no one's trying to address or fix. Social financial influencers has romanticized the grind. They celebrate the 5 a.m. wake ups, the hustle while they sleep mentality. The idea if you just work hard enough, if you just grind hard enough, if you just get out the fucking mud, success is bound to come. Success is bound to be laid before you. And that's not the case. If you are hustling, putting in all that work, but you don't have no leverage, that's just like exercising and working out to lose weight, then turn around and eating cheeseburgers from McDonald's as your after workout meal. It defeats the purpose. And I see it constantly throughout the years. People pouring 40 hours a week into side hustles, aka another full-time job that pays less than minimum wage if you actually calculate and do the math. So you be sitting there thinking that you building an empire. But in reality, if you actually know business, you just simply funding a very, very fucking expensive identity experiment because you're a consumer trying to convince yourself you're an entrepreneur by doing what you think entrepreneur is doing, but you don't have an entrepreneur framework or foundation. And the worst part is this: the hustle culture machine, the ones that push this, the social financial influencers and the social media outlets, they love this because the social financial influencer get to continue to sell you courses, membership, Discord packages, PDFs, and the social apps. Advertisers pay more money to put their ads around that type of content because in their eyes, based on the data, that content already is a buying audience and they will buy anything from small ticket to high ticket products. The only people and the only entities that's really making money with this concept are the social financial influencers that pushing that BS and the social apps that is pocketing and banking off advertiser dollars to promote products to you. But at the same time, you grinding, hustling, working hard, trying to be the best entrepreneur you can be with your side hustle. But your profit margins is frankly non-existent. Think about this, right? If your side hustle requires you to be at a constant emotional peak performance just so it can function, you don't have a business. What you have, just another full-time job with extra anxiety and worse benefits. Now let's talk about the real killer. When you got to be at that emotional peak performance all the time, what comes with that? Emotional burnout. And no, before I continue to talk, this has nothing to do with self-care. This has everything to do with business and this side hustle crusade that you on. Because you don't have a work-life balance problem. You have a bad entrepreneur foundational engineering problem. The reason I say that because most side hustles collapse and fail not because of the market rejecting them, but because of the founders, the creator, the entrepreneur emotional tank is just fucking empty. Month 3 roll around, customer acquisitions become harder and harder. That's when the novelty began to wear off. Then all of a sudden, this passion project starts to feel like an overbearing, time consuming, energy draining, emotional pulling second full-time job that you just can't fucking quit. But here's the thing that I need you to understand. Emotional burnout isn't considered weakness. It's exactly what happens when you build a machine that breaks every time you have a bad week or every time you can't be hands-on. When your entire income of your side hustle depends on your emotional peak performance, you are not an entrepreneur. you are really what I consider as a emotional laborer. Now, the side hustles that survive and become successful, they run what I call cold operational systems. These side hustles make money whether you are motivated, exhausted, dealing with some uncaused chaos, you're not at your peak emotional performance. That's how you do business. That's how side hustles become a permanent fixture in your portfolio as a income earner for you. That's not just smart, that's sustainable. And especially when you are leaving out a linear economy, going to a circular economy where everything is based around sustainability. And then there exists what can be known as a silent killer that no social financial influence talk about. They don't Instagram about it, they don't YouTube about it, they don't TikTok about it. Is cash flow mismanagement. When it comes to starting, owning, cultivating, and maintaining your own side hustle. See, every social financial influencer that encourage you to get a side hustle, they always track revenue. The common cliche, I made $5,000 a month. I made $1,000 a month. And let me show you how to make $5,000 a month or $1,000 a month. And sometimes they be as bold and make a statement like, I made $1,000 an hour. Okay, great, cool, you did that. But you all see them headlines and y'all jump for it because y'all don't understand that that is a call to action or sell tactic with the social financial influencer to get you hooked to buy their product or service. And then once you get it, only thing you thinking about again to that same ballpark figure or number that they projected upon you. So every time you make money, what are you doing? You spending that money as if it's your money and not the business money. And that's where that cash flow mismanagement come in, because it's social financial influencers that make that statement. One thing they are not mentioning in that same context is how much they got to subtract from their overall revenue, because it's not all profit. They got to go to their software management, their software subscriptions, their ad spend, their payment processor fees, their contractor costs. And let's not forget the 30% you got to set aside strictly for tax purposes. And once you calculate all that, 9 times out of 10, that $10,000 that they say they made in profit might be anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. You see the big difference in that? And then when you take into 30 days in a month, now all of a sudden, your successful, profitable side hustle business is really actually paying you equivalent to $3 an hour. And now you still wondering why most side hustles fail before 6 months. You or anyone else cannot out hustle broken unit economics. Period. Because scalable side hustles are not built on passion. They are built on operational infrastructure that generate profit without your constant involvement. But we must touch on the side hustle industrial complex just for a second. When you have these articles, these blogs, these videos from these social financial influencers that's promising easy passive income, lazy business ideas, the lazy way to make money, and quick ways to make money online. Those titles and ideals and all that stuff, they're designed to get clicks, to have a high click-through rate, to produce some type of dopamine emotional rush in you to look at the title and look at the thumbnail and click on the video. They are not built for businesses. That stuff is not created to actually demonstrate actual entrepreneurship for business and foundational growth when it comes to you creating a very monetizable, attainable side hustle. And without that being the catalyst for the content, those social financial influencers purposely create something that is 1,000 times worse than just failure. They create a impossible human emotional trigger that is unstoppable, that you can't deny, that you can't turn away from, known as opportunity addiction. This is why you found yourself over the years, especially since 2020, since the height of the pandemic, when these social financial influencers double down on these things. How many different side hustles you'd have looked into, you have tried, you'd invested into? I'm talking jumping from drop shipping to affiliate marketing to print on demand, just to name a few, and never seems to finish anything. You always constantly chasing the newest shining object out there when it comes to side hustles. And quite frankly, 70% of the time, it always be a new side hustle from the same social financial influencer that you've been following that gauge your other side hustle? Why do you think these social financial influencers, every other video, they got a different business that they saying that they are knowledgeable in, got authority in, that they successful in, that they are trying to sell to you or do content on to grab you in and say, hey, this is a new business to do this in. Don't believe that I say. Everything I say should be like, go fact check this. Go look at your favorite social financial influencer that you follow and go back since 2020 and see how many videos they have put up about different businesses that they claim that they doing. Because nobody should be putting up content about business and making money if they're not an authority figure in that, if they haven't succeeded in that. And ask yourself, it's only 365 days in a year. How can one person that's on the internet creating videos at the pace they create videos can be a master of these many businesses or be successful in these many businesses that they can be authoritative and come back and talk to you about these businesses and tell you to go pursue these business as a side hustle? You know, logically that doesn't make any sense. And the entrepreneurs who are actually making six figures or get into that realm where they bringing in $1 million in revenue, they are not necessarily smarter than you or more talented than you. They are just still standing after everyone else, including yourself, quit, then moved on to something else because you wanted to chase the next trend, following what social financial influencers are telling you. Those one that get to six figures and get to $1 million in revenue, they picked one lane, one side hustle, and built operational ecosystems instead of these fantasy-driven thought processes of hope that you possess. Look, I'm not here to crush your dreams in no way, shape, form, or fashion. I'm actually here to save you from that weekend entrepreneur methodology that had been bestowed upon you since the 2020 pandemic by social financial influence when you were at your highest emotional distress period when it came to the social environment, your health, and your economic status. I want you to document your processes, automate your workflows, and to know your real hourly rate that you would like to pay yourself with your side hustle. Because my question to you isn't how hard can you hustle? It's can somebody else can come in and pick up your side hustle and run it profitably without any of your documentation? If the answer is yes, you got a gold mine from an ethical standpoint where you can exit that business at 3 to 5x is multiple. But if your answer is no, which is 9 times out of 10, it is, I'm just here to tell you that side hustle that you have, you are not building a business. You building what I consider as a emotional burnout generator. And that's why most side hustles fail. So don't jump to another side hustle. Continue with the side hustle you have now. Just fix the infrastructure first. You got to build a cold operational ecosystem. And if you don't know how to do that, click the link down inside the video description. Get the Verdure Improvement Digital Book. And like the 100 entrepreneurs that I studied with their multiple different side hustles to come up with this content, they reached out. At least 63 of them out of the 100 did. And here are some of their results. And this is not typical. Listen to this, bro. I was literally on EBT in Section 8 in Detroit, $847 a month. Couldn't even buy my kids' school supplies. I kept seeing JB's videos, and I'm not gonna lie, I was skeptical because of his background. No offense, JB. If you see this, none taken, fam. But I fact checked everything he said about the Fed and quantitative easing, and he was right every single time. Y'all know my motto. Don't believe I say, go fact check everything I say. You feel me? I bought the Verdure Improvement Digital Book. That was 8 months ago. He got the one that was just an ebook with like 250 pages in it. Yesterday, I closed my first ecosystem deal because once again, it's about creating them cold operational ecosystem. My current annual run rate, don't worry about what he's making. Don't choose this because of what he's making. This is what he's doing. I went from food stamps to six figures by understanding that the dollar is depth and not money. I was sleeping in my car 6 months ago. Now I have a 3-bedroom house, owner finance using JB strategies, and my kids have a college fund. The blueprint works, but only if you understand the change of economy. Talking about they had to learn that the linear economy is no longer here and the circular economy here. Get the book, do the work, stop making excuses. Now, the Verdure Improvement Digital Book that he's talking about, that's not going to get you to this point, but that's the first step you got to take. As you can see, they go through Verdure Improvement, then they get the monetary policy basic, then they get the exit strategy, which teach you how to really put your business where it need to be at. But before you can get to that point of understanding stuff, you got to know the basics. Look how many lights it got, all that type of stuff. Here goes Sarah. Hi everyone. Sarah, 19 years old from rural Ohio, dropped out of high school at 16 because I got pregnant. It's not the end of the world, Sarah. Keep doing your thing. Worked at Dollar General for $11 an hour. I always go to Dollar General, man. I was skeptical about Jeremy eyeing him at first because honestly, I never saw someone like him teaching finance. I know, like I always tell y'all, man, I give y'all character, I give y'all an image of what y'all deem as somebody that's not authoritative figure, somebody that's not knowledgeable, somebody who's not wealthy, somebody who's not successful, somebody not educated. Because I want y'all to understand what's coming from here, being projected out of here. That's why I tell you go fact check everything so you can see, oh, this dude is really what he is. But my cousin kept pushing me to fact check his claims about the M2 money supply. See, people, I always tell people go fact check me. I spent 3 nights on Investopedia. He was right about everything. If you're on the fence because of how Jeremy looks or talks, you're missing the point. The financial system doesn't care about your feelings. It cares about who understand the rules. Read the book, learn the rules, win the game. I invested in the Verdure Improvement Digital Book because I had $63 in my account and nothing to lose. Best decision ever. I now run a digital arbitrage ecosystem. Once again, building those co-operational ecosystems. Don't worry about how much money this person generating. All right, that's not you. And I'm not saying that's typical. All right, that's that person experience. Say I bought my mom a house. I'm not special. I just follow the blueprint. All right, and then it's plenty of people inside here that's whatever the case may be. So get the digital book, people. Change your life. I'm gonna tell you how much it's called. It's $199.99. I didn't set the price, the people set the price. I asked them how much y'all think this stuff be worth, and they told me $199.99. And that's how the price became that. And you can get it on payment plan, whatever the case may be. So when you click on the link, I don't need your email. I don't want your phone. I don't want none of that stuff. You know if you need this or if you don't need this. Simple as that.